So I'm guessing since you clicked on this video, you'll probably want to start Pinterest in 2022, but you're like, I don't even know where to start. Like, Pinterest is just confusing. No worries, I got you. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikeia and I am the founder of The Marketing Prophet, which is a digital marketing agency that focuses on SEO and Pinterest marketing to help get your brand visible through the search engines. That was a lot. Anyways, you can also find on this channel faith-based topics because I am a Christian and this is a Christian-based agency as well, and we do help Christian brands and Christian entrepreneurs increase visibilities in the search engines. And I also share vlogs on here too, so like travel content is what I actually love, and then behind the scenes as an entrepreneur. So if you're interested in any of that, make sure you hit that subscribe button and follow along because you're gonna love this content. Okay, so I want to talk about the top 10 steps that you need to take to get started on Pinterest the right way, so that way you can start seeing results on Pinterest. So like I previously said, I have a SEO and content marketing agency, and Pinterest marketing and management is actually one of the services we offer our clients. So we've been doing this for a long time. Personally, I've been using Pinterest marketing for about 8 years now. So I know what works and what doesn't. So I want to share the top 10 steps to get your e-commerce brand on Pinterest, so that way you can start benefiting from the Pinterest platform, because Pinterest is so powerful when it comes to visibility, when it comes to brand credibility, and when it comes to increasing your presence online and getting those website traffics and conversions. But we'll talk about that in a few. So here are my top 10 steps to get started on Pinterest. Number one. So the first thing you need to do is, why do you want to use Pinterest for your business? This is so important because I feel like a lot of people see other brands successful on Pinterest, but they don't understand why they want to use Pinterest for their own brand. And this is going to be very important because this is going to also correlate with the goals that you have for your business using Pinterest, and what goals and analytics to actually merge together to understand if Pinterest is even working for you in the first place. So do you want to use Pinterest to increase email signups maybe for your brand? Do you want to use Pinterest to increase conversions? Then conversions to you could be email signups. It could also be product sales. It can be maybe downloads of something. It can be website traffic. You need to figure out exactly why do you want to use Pinterest. Number two, you need to check to see if your audience is on Pinterest. So Pinterest is a very different platform, okay? It's not a social media platform. It's actually a search engine, actually the largest visual search engine in the world. It beats out Google image search at number one. So with that being said, there's actually a certain audience base that uses Pinterest, and there's certain industries on Pinterest that thrive more than others. There's actually 20 industries that Pinterest is perfect for, and there's top 10 industries on Pinterest out of those 20 that actually see the best results from Pinterest. So how do you know if your industry is a part of the top 20? Well, I actually created a video right here that I'll leave up in the cards, and it literally walks you through how to find out if Pinterest is the right move for your business by looking at the audience insights Pinterest gives you in your business analytics account. So it's about a 10-minute video. I walk through that process there. So watch that video first, and if your industry is on Pinterest, then I want you to come back to this video. All right, number three. Are your competitors on Pinterest already? And if they are on Pinterest, are they doing well? So this is one thing I always ask people. So once you find out that you have an audience on Pinterest, you want to see what other competitors that you know of in your space is actually on Pinterest as well. Because there's a certain amount of analytics and things you want to actually look at when you're looking at your competitors on Pinterest. And I'm going to walk you through that right now on my screen. So this is what I mean. Go to your Pinterest account, and in the search bar, just type in what type of industry you're in. So I'm just typing in skincare. And what you want to do is you just want to hit enter and see what pops up under the Explore tab. Right here, you'll get profiles you might love based on your search prediction, and you'll see brands. So this is skincare.com by L'Oreal. So if L'Oreal is a competitor of yours, you know that one, your competitor is on Pinterest. So you can click on this, or what you can also do is click over here on profiles, and you can see anybody who's using the key term skincare in their brand title on Pinterest. So we have Glossier, we have Kiehl's on here, we have Clinique, we have Dermstore, we have Burt's Bees. So let's say Burt's Bees is a direct competitor of my skincare brand. So what you will want to look at to see if your audience is on Pinterest and if other brands are doing well on Pinterest is the first thing I want you to look at is their followers. So yeah, followers is an indicator that they have an audience on Pinterest who is consistently engaging with their content. So they have a good amount of followers. The next thing I want you to look at are their monthly views. So monthly views, anywhere 500,000 plus is pretty good. This basically means that Pinterest is showing any pins that Burt Bees publish to other people, which means they have 10 million people looking at their Pinterest pins or their content every single month. So they have a good reach, which basically means they probably have a good audience base where Pinterest understands their audience and is pushing them to the right people. What I also like to do is to look at who's following Burt's Bees. So as you can see, of course, there are just a lot of basically regular people who are following them. You have some other skincare brands that are following them as well. I like to look at other skincare brands that are following other skincare brands, for example, because maybe these can be another direct competitors of mine who are maybe smaller in audience size, and that I can look at what they're doing as well. Something else you want to look at is look at their shop tab. Do they have their product listed on here to shop? And yes, they do. You can also get an idea of what kind of products are being targeted on Pinterest based on the products that you have and your competitors have. Then go over to the created tab and see what kind of content they are creating. Are they creating a lot of idea pins? Now, idea pins are going to show up first, and then standard pins are going to show up towards the bottom. So it looks like they're using video pins. You can tell that by looking at the second tab over here. Anything that has like a little timestamp means it's a video pin. You can also get ideas on how to create Pinterest pins as well. I'll also get to how to create Pinterest pins that convert later in this video, but I like to see exactly what kind of content they are posting. And then if you go over here to saved, you can actually see what kind of boards they have, so you can get an idea of what boards you should have on your profile as well. And take a look at the keywords they are using. So they have sensitive skincare board, they have a face care board, they have a beauty board, they have a lip balm board, a renewal skincare board. Now keep in mind, every single board they have, I'm pretty sure they have products reflected on their website that reflect the items in this board, that reflects the pins in this board. You also want to see how consistent they are pinning. You see this little number over here? It says 15 hours. That means the last pin that they put onto their account was 15 hours ago. That's pretty recent. Honestly, I would say any company or brand on here that's your direct competitor that has a 24-hour time frame from the last time they posted is pretty consistent on Pinterest, which means that's probably why they have high monthly viewers and probably have a good amount of a following, because they're consistently pushing out new content, and Pinterest loves fresh content, so therefore they're getting their stuff seen on their target audience's feed. So those are the things that you want to look for. So once again, look at their board titles, look at keywords, make sure that your board titles reflect the content that you actually have on your website as well as the products. Look at the pins that they're creating. Are they creating a lot of video pins, idea pins? Look at their shop to see if they house all their products on their shop, as well as how many products they have on their shop as well. You can even take a look at who they are following, because they may be following their competitors as well. So that's kind of like a mini competitor analysis. But once you see like, hey, my competitors are on Pinterest and they're doing pretty good, it gives you a clear indication that possibly you can do good too. Number 4, set up a business account. That's pretty self-explanatory. If you don't set up a business account for your brand on Pinterest, you're not gonna have access to analytics, you're not gonna have access to ads, you can't set up a shop on Pinterest, so you're missing out on so many features on Pinterest if you don't sign up for a business account. Number 5. So if you are an e-commerce brand selling products and you want to have your catalog from your website on Pinterest so people can shop your product feed on Pinterest and go to your website, you're going to have to apply to what's called the Verified Merchant Program. So the Verified Merchant Program is basically Pinterest. It's a Pinterest program where brands who sell products can actually have their products on the Pinterest platform. And what Pinterest does, it takes your product feed from your website and it actually creates product pins for you. So that way your pins can actually show up in feed suggestions based on keywords that people are searching, as well as if somebody comes to your profile, they can shop on your Pinterest and shop your products, and then that it will actually lead them to your website. So it's just another way to increase conversions and website traffic to your actual product pages. Also, when you get accepted into the Verified Merchant Program, you get this little blue check mark, which is pretty cool. And basically that lets the audience know, whoever's coming to your profile, that you have been verified by Pinterest as a verified seller on Pinterest. Now, keep in mind, you do have to meet certain qualifications in order to be accepted into the Pinterest Verified Merchant Program. It's honestly not that hard. I'll list a few of the qualifications actually right here, but as long as you have these basic qualifications, you should be able to get accepted into the Verified Merchant Program. It usually takes about 24 to 48 hours. At least that's what I've seen from signing up my clients for the Pinterest Verified Merchant Program. There's so many other benefits for joining this program, and I'll list some of those benefits here, and I'll also leave the link down below in the description box on how you can apply and get your brand a part of the Verified Pinterest Program. Verified Merchant Program, so that way you can start having your product feed ingested onto your Pinterest profile to help increase those website traffic and conversions. Number 6. So once you have been accepted into the Pinterest Verified Merchant Program, the next thing you're going to want to do is actually set up your shop. Now, this is actually going to differ based on what website platform you're using, and it's also going to be easier or a little bit hard based on what platform you're using. So for example, if you are a brand using Shopify to sell your products, Shopify actually has an inbuilt feature where you can actually just connect your Pinterest account to your Shopify. Once you apply for the Verified Merchant Program and get accepted, I think there's like one button you click and then your product feed is ingested into Pinterest, your Pinterest business account and your catalog. Now, let's say if you use WordPress like me, you're actually going to have to use like Google Tag Manager is what I use, or there's other options you can use too. If you have a WordPress, if you have Squarespace or Wix, basically after you get accepted into the Verified Merchant Program, Pinterest gives you options to help you basically get your feed ingested into your Pinterest account. Once you set up your shop, number 7 is actually very important. And you want to make sure that your products are optimized for search. So you remember what I said, that Pinterest is a visual search engine. You want to make sure you're using keywords within your product. So basically, once you got accepted into the Verified Merchant Program and Pinterest takes all your product information and then puts them onto your Pinterest profile, what it does is basically taking everything you have on your website and transferring over to Pinterest. So on your website, you need to make sure you have keywords in your product title, keywords in your product description, keywords in your product images, so in the alt text image, so that way when Pinterest takes it from your website and puts it on your Pinterest profile, you're already gonna have optimized products. So another thing you might want to do is also do some keyword research on Pinterest to see what keywords your audience might actually be searching for when it comes to finding products like yours. So let's say I'm a skincare brand and I have a whole skincare line of products. Let's say I sell a moisturizing face lotion for dry skin. I'm probably going to want to go onto Pinterest and type in moisturizing face, see what keywords come up in bold, and then that gives you an indication of what people are actually typing into Pinterest to find a product like yours. So you just want to make sure you incorporate some of those keywords into your product. Now, if your products are not already optimized on your site, you could just edit the product pins on your actual Pinterest profile and add the keywords there. However, just keep in mind, Pinterest does something called I think it's called ingest, or it digests basically your product information from your website every 24 hours. So whatever edits you make to your product pins on Pinterest deletes every 24 hours, and you'll have to constantly keep adding those keywords back. So if you do it on your website, this is just one step that can save you time. So optimize your products on your website so that way people can find your products through Pinterest search. Number 8 is to optimize your Pinterest profile. Once again, Pinterest is not a social media platform. It is a search engine, which means keywords play a huge role in how people find your brand on Pinterest. Profile title, you want to make sure not only do you have your brand name, but you have your keywords as well. And then you want to make sure that you reciprocate some of those keywords in your profile description. So let me show you what that looks like. So when optimizing your Pinterest profile, the first thing you want to do is go ahead and upload or update your Pinterest profile cover photo here. This is a free marketing space that you can use to market maybe a new product you have coming out, or a product line, a new digital course, or just any information about your agency. So right here, I just have some words here that have a little keywords of what kind of content you'll find on my Pinterest boards. So SEO, Pinterest, blogs, analytics, and website. And then I say helping you rank #1 on Google, attract more relevant website traffic, and increase product sales. So that's the first thing somebody's going to see when they come to my profile. Now, my name is in my profile title, but I also have keywords in my profile title. So I know for a fact that a lot of people, or my audience on Pinterest, is looking for content marketing tips, and I am a content marketing agency. So I make sure I put content marketing agency within my profile title. So if anybody's searching anything about content marketing, my profile can show up as a related suggested profile to follow, or any of my Pinterest boards or Pinterest pins might show up in someone else's feed. Then, as you can see, down in the profile description, I have more information about exactly what type of information they can find about my content marketing agency and what they can expect in my boards. So in here, I list a Christian marketing agency. So once again, I have another keyword there, marketing agency, helping Christian brands, entrepreneurs, and I help you increase visibility, traffic, conversions with SEO, Pinterest, and blog tips. So this just gives an overall information on who my Pinterest profile is for, how I can help you, and what exactly I can do for you. Now, in order to update this, all you have to do is click on this drop down arrow over here, go to settings, and then right here in the name area, go ahead, you can put either your brand name, or you could just put keywords. You can put your brand name, or you can put keywords, and so this is where you would edit that at, and you will also edit your about section here. Make sure your website is also claimed. If your website is not claimed on Pinterest, then you're gonna have a hard time getting Pinterest to show your pins to your target users. So under here in the claim section in this dashboard on the left hand side, you just want to go ahead and put in your website name here, hit claim, and it takes about 24 hours to make sure that basically your website is a legit website and it's not spam or inappropriate content. And I believe they send you an email in order to verify that your website is legit. And then down here, you can also claim other platforms like Etsy or YouTube, because what this will do is when you get to your analytics, you can also see what type of traffic is going to these other claimed platforms. Number 9 is to optimize your boards. So what a lot of people don't understand when it comes to Pinterest marketing and it being a search engine is that information follows a pin to the destination point. So what that basically means is once you publish a pin, right, and you add it to a board, basically anything that you have attached to that pin, so like the title to that pin, the title, the description of that pin, any text that you have on that pin, so like the overlay text. And then if you add it to a board, you want to make sure you add it to a relevant board that makes sense. So if I have a skincare brand and I might have separate boards based on the products I sell. So it's very, very important to optimize your boards. Now, here's one tip that a lot of people miss out on when it comes to Pinterest marketing. You should not have random boards on your profile account. Every single board you have on your Pinterest profile should reflect a certain product or service you might sell. So if I'm a skincare brand and I sell skincare products, there's no reason why I should have a fashion board on my Pinterest account, because I'm never going to add a pin to that board that's going to convert people over on my website, because I don't sell fashion items. So basically, you want to make sure your boards are relevant to the products you sell. So if I'm a skincare brand and I sell multiple skincare products like face moisturizers, maybe I sell suntan lotions, or maybe I sell sunscreen, and I sell lip balms and I don't know, face washes, all that stuff. So I want to have separate boards for them. So that way, whenever I'm uploading a pin, I know that that pin ultimately is going to follow the destination to either a product page or maybe some content that's on my website. So once again, make sure your boards are relevant. So on my personal account, this is actually a board that I have, which is called SEO Tips and Strategies. Now, I know for a fact that this keyword is highly searched on Pinterest using a tool called Pinterest Trends, which you can literally find here in analytics and then going to trends. But anyways, I know that SEO is a service that I offer within my content marketing agency, and so therefore I have a board for it as well, because I have SEO content or products or digital courses on my website that I can make Pinterest pins out of, attach them to a board, and then lead them to the relevant page on my website. So here is the board title, and as you can see in the description, I have keywords in the description that I know reflects content on my website that I also know I can make Pinterest pins out of. And any Pinterest pins that I add to this board are going to have these keywords in them. For example, I might have search engine optimization as a keyword. I might have increased traffic, website traffic as a keyword. I might have Google ranking as a keyword, or increased brand visibility. So I make sure I have keywords in my board description. So for example, let's click on this one here. So free SEO class for beginners. So SEO for beginners is my keyword. And as you can see in my description, I make sure that I reiterate the keyword SEO. I make sure that I talk about it's for beginners. I make sure I say it's a live training. And as you can see, I saved it to a relevant board, SEO tips. I didn't save it to, let's say, social media. I didn't save it to my Pinterest marketing board. I didn't save it to my blog tip board. No, I saved it to the most relevant board that makes sense to the user, as well as makes sense to Pinterest. And as you can see, if you click on this here, it's actually going to take you to a link that's on my website that's relevant to every single thing, from the Pinterest pin to the Pinterest title to the Pinterest description, all the way to the actual board that I saved this to, which is my SEO tips and strategies board. And it also has the same keywords or similar keywords that I used in my Pinterest pin. Titles should have keywords in the board titles. It should have keywords in the board descriptions. And these keywords should be keywords your target audience is using on Pinterest to find a brand like yours. If you are interested on how to find keywords, it's pretty simple. One way that you can do this, and I actually make a separate video on how to do keyword research on Pinterest, but one way to simply do this is to use one tool called Pinterest Trends. Type in some keywords and see how well that keyword is trending every single month. You can also just use the Pinterest search bar. So if I type in face moisturizer on Pinterest search, look at the bold words that come up. That's Pinterest telling you what are the most popular key terms attached to that root keyword you typed in that's being searched the most. So try to incorporate some of those keywords into your board titles and board descriptions. And then make sure whatever pins you add to these boards make sense. So if you have a face moisturizing tips board, you want to make sure any pins that you publish that have to do with face moisturization are added to that board and not added to like a sunscreen board. At the end of the day, Pinterest loves things that make sense, and they love new ideas and fresh pins. Fresh pins meaning new images, new titles, new URLs. And so just make sure everything aligns from the time you publish something to the time somebody gets to your destination, because Pinterest tracks it all. And number 10 is start pinning your content. So standard pins, so these are just like the regular Pinterest pins, that's not gonna cut it in 2022. You have to diversify your content on Pinterest. And when I say diversify your content, I mean not only post standard pins, but you need to be posting idea pins and you need to be posting some video pins. You can also play around with ads and see how ads work for your brand as well. Idea pins are really big right now on Pinterest. They rolled out last year. I believe they were called story pins at first and they changed the name to idea pins. And basically these are idea pins that spark interest, spark ideas for your audience. You can also use these to tag your products on these idea pins to get people interested in how to use your products to maybe complete an idea or complete a goal they have in mind. So for example, if I'm a skincare brand, maybe I might show my skincare routine and how I use certain products in my product line. And then I would tag my products in that idea pin and publish that to Pinterest. So it basically just gives your audience an idea of how to use your products. Now, you don't want to oversell your products in idea pins. It's not a place to sell. That's what your product shop is for. It's a place to basically spark creativity and spark ideas that would make them want to learn more about your product. So I will have a video soon talking about how to use idea pins to convert, but make sure you are using some form of video content on Pinterest because you're gonna get more reach and visibility with using idea pins. So that brings me to the end of this video. Hopefully you guys now know how to get started on Pinterest. I know these 10 steps may seem like a lot, but honestly, once you get started and you set up all these good, strong foundations for your Pinterest account, everything else is going to come easy. Now, if you need help with Pinterest pins and like what designs actually work on Pinterest to get people to come to your website, I actually created Canva Pinterest templates for you all based on 3 different industry designs. So I have Pinterest pin templates for service providers, for product sellers, and for lifestyle bloggers. Now, like I said, I've been doing Pinterest for 8 years, so I know what designs work and what designs don't work. Now, you can easily just use the designs that Canva already give you, but they're not designed by a Pinterest marketing expert. So they don't have certain elements that's gonna make somebody engage with your pin, and they don't have those elements that Pinterest says are good and that they're gonna push out more to the people who are searching for certain keywords attached to whatever you want that pin to do. So if you want to shop these templates and just basically help with your Pinterest marketing strategy, it's just one less thing you have to do when it comes to pinning content on Pinterest. I made these templates for you, so all you have to do is swap out your brand colors, your brand font, swap out the body copy that I added to these pins, and that's pretty much it. Change up the images and add videos, change up the images and add your own images, and then just upload them to Pinterest. That way you have these fresh idea pins on Pinterest that are actually going to help you convert. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you love this content, make sure you follow me for more Pinterest marketing tips. If you are an e-commerce brand wanting to get more brand visibility, also make sure you hit that subscribe button. You made it all the way to the end, so if you're not subscribed yet, I don't know what you're doing, because I'm always giving out free tips for you guys because I want you guys to get found through Google search, and I want you guys to use Pinterest marketing to get that website traffic and conversion. Thank you guys so much. Have a good rest of your day.